Sing Sing, what's it about? Go.
So when I looked up the synopsis of this movie online, I didn't really like what they said about it.
Is it too spoilery?
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty much this is a story of a group of guys that are in Sing Sing Correctional Facility in upstate New York.
That is its nickname. What's the actual prison called, you may ask?
I thought it was called Sing Sing.
No. That's a nickname because they tell you they tell you the name of the prison and then you're like, oh, that's where they got it from. Okay, it's a maximum security prison for men. New York.
It literally says Sing Sing
No,
Correctional
no, no,
Facility
no,
is a
no, no.
maximum security prison for men, operated by the New York State Department of Corrections.
Ossining, New York.
That's where it is. That's the city it's in.
The name Sing Sing derives from the Sitsink Native American tribe from whom the New York colony purchased the land in 1685 and was formerly the name of the village. In 1970, the prison's name was changed to Ossining Correctional Facility. Oh, yeah, that is the original name. Sing Sing.
Yeah, this is now the second time I've looked this up. I know.
Oh, okay.
I looked this up while we were watching the movie.
Well, because
Say you're right. Say you're right.
they show Ossining in the movie.
Yeah, that's the name of the city that it's in.
That's the actual name of the prison. Well, this is vague. This is okay. Anyways, you're right. Moving on.
Thank you. I have to look up the cast really fast.
I can tell you who the main guy is. Domingo.
Yeah. So, like Brand said, the main guy, his name is Coleman Domingo. He plays Divine G in the movie. He is like one of the founders of this club. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
In prison. It's basically an acting club where they get together and they have a certain amount of people that can be accepted, and they put on plays twice a year. And so the movie follows this group of guys with their experience of being in prison and being a part of this club.
Right. And
would you add anything?
No. The cool thing about this movie is most of the actors are former prisoners. And if I'm not wrong, most of them are former inmates of Sing Sing.
And most of them play themselves.
Right, and they were members of this club in real life.
Yeah.
So really cool. Like that's an awesome detail.
Yeah.
So you're getting a prison drama here. One thing that I thought was, I don't know, I guess refreshing was this is a prison movie where it's not the prisoners getting beat up all the time and,
it's not revolving around gangs
the
and
abuse.
Violence.
Yeah, it's not it's not like an abusive prison movie like Shawshank is. It's a positive prison movie, which I don't know how accurate or inaccurate that is, but that's this movie's focus is when the rehabilitation actually works.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's actually it's actually showing rehabilitation.
Yeah,
I would say.
right. And it's really good. So I have some notes. I'm sure you have some notes. The first note I wrote was they really, capital really, make you care about these characters.
Yeah.
And root for them. They really do.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first maybe 10 minutes of this movie, I was like, this is going to be pretty slow. But once you start caring for these people, it's not slow anymore. You're cheering for all the little everyday victories that they get, and you're sad about all the times that they relapse into their old selves, and nothing incredibly dramatic happens in this movie throughout its entire runtime, really. Like nobody's getting beat to death like in Shawshank. Nobody is getting prison graped like in Shawshank. Nobody is getting whatever. No one is getting set up to be shot by the guard like in Shawshank. Like nothing like that happens in this movie, but it still feels hefty and significant. events that occur in the lives of these inmates.
I will say, for how long was this movie? An hour and a half?
Yeah.
It's a very tight script, in my opinion, and a very well written and just movie that for an hour and a half there was no wasted time while also being not fast paced and not super slow paced, but like medium paced, I would say.
Yeah. I actually don't think this is as tight of a script as I would like.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt like it gave time for things to be slow, and then when things were dramatic, it felt more impactful.
So I don't disagree with what you're saying, but to explain why I don't think it's super tight would be a spoiler.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
Okay.
But it's definitely not boring,
Yeah.
which is what you were kind of getting at there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's boring at all.
Yeah, I think kind of to go off what you were saying earlier about really caring about these characters, it was crazy to me that pretty much none of them are professionally trained actors.
Right.
Especially like the ones that played themselves. They're acting, in this club, and all like drama club basically, and put on plays twice a year, but they're not professionally trained.
Yeah.
I feel like they did such a great
Yeah.
job.
There's not a crack in any of those performances. They're great, all of them.
Yeah.
Especially Coleman Domingo, direct from Domingo. But he's not a former inmate. He's
No,
just
he's a
an actor.
yeah.
But he's really good in this. He was nominated for the leading actor award, and unfortunately, we have seen a lot of movies this year. But
Yeah, what a bummer that we watched so many.
yeah, it's so sad. But for some weird reason, we like missed a lot of the best picture nominees.
I think that's
And
because this year we focused on the best animation.
no, but we saw so many movies. Think about it. Got to look at 2025 Oscars. Like we saw small things like these. We saw The
That was
Order.
nominated?
We saw No, I'm just saying these are movies that came out within this 2025 Oscar season. We saw so many of them.
Hmm.
We were cranking through them, but we missed the ones that got nominated for some reason. A lot of the ones that got nominated. So Kieran Culkin won Best Supporting. Who won the
Did
Best?
you see his acceptance speech?
No,
He just talked to his wife the whole time.
really.
Yeah, from the
I
stage.
I heard that Adrian Brody's acceptance speech was really obnoxious,
No, is that the one where they played the music to have him get off?
and then he didn't get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Kieran Culkin got up and he was like, "Please don't play the music. I'm not going to leave. Just wait. I have to tell this story." And he was like, "Last time I got nominated, my wife told me if you win, we can have a third kid. And joke's on her, I want four." And I won. And so now, Jazz, let's get to work or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So okay, so here was the best actor category. Adrian Brody got nominated for The Brutalist. Timothy Chalamet got nominated for A Complete Unknown. Coleman Domingo got nominated for Sing Sing. Ray Fiennes got nominated for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan got nominated for The Apprentice. I have not seen The Apprentice or The Brutalist. Of those three, though, Timothy Chalamet, Coleman Domingo, Ray Fiennes. Alternate universe, one of them has to win. Who are you giving it to?
I would give it to Timothy Chalamet.
Would you?
Yeah.
Over Coleman Domingo?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
I think Coleman Domingo did an amazing job, but just Timothy Chalamet's voice and mannerisms and all of that in A Complete Unknown,
Yeah, they're really good.
it didn't even feel like him, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Everything else I wrote is spoilery.
I just think this movie does such a good job of showing they have an acting coach, this club,
Mm-hmm.
and he does such a good job of giving them exercises of having them step outside themselves. And I'm sure every acting coach does stuff like this, or drama teacher does stuff like this. But it was so fun to see, these gangsters. I don't know if they were gangsters, but like, these inmates that a lot of them out in the yard are like these tough dudes really lean into these exercises
Yeah.
of, pretend you're a zombie and pretend, just all these different things. And I really liked some of the different exercises that they did, because there was one where the acting coach says, we're all sitting in a circle, everybody close their eyes and think of your happy place. And he kind of leads them through this meditation of thinking about your happy place. And then they go around and they share. And it was really awesome to see how excited they were to share their happy place.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you asked during the movie if this was shot on film, and it was.
Yo, you can totally tell.
I know.
It wasn't a question.
Oh, I
I
thought
could
you were
tell.
asking.
No, you can see the grain like
Okay.
all over.
Yeah.
And it works. Like for this, it gives it sort of a retro-y feel. Yeah, it's shot really well. Good soundtrack, good framing, great performances. That's really where it lives, I think, is its writing and its performances. But yeah, I think it's very well worth watching. It is one of the better movies this year for sure. I'm sort of blending 2024 and well, yeah, this came out in 2024, didn't it?
What are you asking me to look up?
The cutoff date for the 2025 Oscars. I hate that they do this. I wish that they would just hold the
calendar
Oscars.
year.
Yeah, just make it.
Just right before Thanksgiving.
See, that's fucking dumb. Because like all of the movies that were nominated were 2024 movies. Just call that the 2024 Oscars.
Yeah.
You know, why do it this way?
Yeah.
But whatever. This is worth watching. This is one of the better movies that has come out in the 2024 Oscar 2025 Oscar season, which is comprised of movies that came out in 2024. So go watch it.
Do you want to give a parent's guide?
Parents Guide. It is rated R, isn't it, for language?
I think that's all it's rated R for, though.
Yeah. It's yeah. This is a movie that you could show your kids.
Okay.
If you let your kids watch rated R movies.
For language.
Right, for language. There's no other reason to not let them watch this, so let it rip.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. The first rated R movie that I ever watched was Stand By Me, and that was rated R for language as well.
Have I seen that?
I don't think so. We should watch that though. It's pretty good. So if you're looking for a good first rated R movie for your kid that they're not going to be freaked out by, this is a great one. The King's Speech, Stand By Me. What was the first one you watched?
That I actually remember?
Sure. Good Will Hunting.
Oh, I definitely saw that. I saw that in school. Yeah, it was probably that one. I can't remember. The one that I actually had a choice in watching that wasn't like a school whatever.
Mhm.
I think I watched Superbad.
Okay, that's not a safe one
No.
to start your kids out with.
That's the one with McLovin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
All the other ones though, like
Good Will Hunting is so good.
including Sing Sing, safe, good first rated R movies. Like it could be PG-13, but I'm glad that it's not, because I don't think that a bunch of inmates are not going to use the F word all the time.
Yeah.
So for authenticity's sake, I'm glad that they do. And it's just such a cool word, don't you think? So fun to say.
Sing Sing?
No, fuck. Say it with me.
No. Okay, you ready to rate it?
This just in, Micah will not say fuck. Yeah, I'm ready to rate it. You?
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to go first or you?
You always go first.
Okay. So because I don't think it's quite as tight as I would like it to be, I don't think that it's like an instant classic, and it could have been, which is a little bit of a bummer. I think this could have been an instant classic.
What would you have changed?
I'll get into that.
Fine.
But I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5. It's a very strong 8.5 direct from Domingos out of 10.
Okay. I know that I feel like I've only said nice things about this movie, but it's not my favorite. I really enjoyed it, and all the different aspects about it was really good. I think I'm going to rate this an 8, just because I don't think I'll watch it again, really. Unless Braden watches it and I'm there. you know,
Yeah.
or we're showing it to someone else. But I think I'm gonna rate this an 8 SpongeBob gap teeth out of
Nice.
10. So
Okay. Spoiler time.
yeah,
Um, so the problem that I had is some of the more weighty parts of the movie. For example, what was the guy's name that
Mike.
Mike Mike? Mike dying, I didn't love the way that was handled.
No.
I was liking it because what happens is Divine G, Coleman Domingo's character, his cell is adjacent to Mike's and they talk all the time and they're very good friends. And they're having this conversation and you can tell that there's some subtext going on. And you're a little bit worried about Mike's mental state at this point. And but the conversation is normal enough to where Divine G isn't worried, and then he goes to bed. And the way that it's shot, you can kind of tell Mike is going to die. And you think that it's
It's gonna be
going to be a suicide,
Are we allowed to say that?
an auto deletion,
Yeah. Self
a
deletion.
self deletion. And so, Mike does die, but it was from a brain aneurysm, just all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that. Okay, it felt bait and switchy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I felt like it would have been more impactful if it was a self deletion, and I feel bad saying that.
Yeah.
But the whole scene was leading up to you thinking that.
Right.
And then the next day, everybody in the drama club is talking about it. And throughout the conversation, you find out it was a brain aneurysm.
Because
And you're like, what?
I actually loved how subtle the foreshadowing was
Yeah.
with his character.
When we were watching it and we thought that it was self deletion before we found out about the aneurysm,
It wasn't so obvious, but it was like,
Braden brought up this part that was earlier in the movie, and he was like, well, remember, he didn't have a happy place.
he didn't really have a happy place. His happy place was
Prison.
the group.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, Micah was like, is he going to self delete? And I was like, I think so. That's how subtle the foreshadowing was.
Yeah.
Where like you weren't really sure, but then when it happened, you weren't surprised. But then it's not that. It's actually a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed by that. And then let's see. They give you the impression that Divine Eye, the guy that Coleman Domingo's character kind of takes under his wing. He's a tough guy. He's a street thug. He's a gangster. He's a drug dealer. And at the beginning of the movie, he is dealing drugs in the prison. And they sort of make it feel like he's going to turn a corner and be different.
Yeah.
And then the guy that is his mule, I guess, drops off some drugs for him at a table. And this is near the end of the movie.
Right before he's about to go home.
Right, and he has a look of conflict on his face, but he takes the drugs, and then he's making eye contact with his mule because his mule went and sat down at a different table, and they never address that ever again.
That's fair.
And I was like, what? Okay, so what was the point of that? And then the last thing that I thought, it feels rushed, or it feels incomplete in some ways.
Okay.
And then I felt like Divine G, Coleman Domingo's character, gets out too fast.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So the synopsis that I read online talks about how he was wrongfully convicted. They don't talk about that until halfway through the movie. He has a parole hearing, or a parole is not the correct word because, like I said, he was wrongfully convicted and he's found evidence to prove this. So he has some kind of hearing with people that can get him out. And it's not really mentioned.
No, it's mentioned before that.
But it's not, like, mentioned enough that it should be in the synopsis, I feel like.
Well, to be
because
fair,
then they have that hearing, he finds out it was denied, and then he gets out.
Yeah, that was my problem because they made it because they can't validate the test. Somebody else confesses to the murder that he's supposed to have committed, but that person has died.
And they can't validate
and they tell him
film or the tape.
Yeah, they tell him in the hearing, we can't validate this. And that's why he's not getting released, essentially. I mean, the woman is being a bitch and is like, are you acting right now?
I hated that.
Yeah. So like there's that too. Maybe he got like a different board and they were a little more lenient, I guess. But I took away from that scene The main issue is they can't validate your alibi, or I guess not
Or
the alibi,
the
the confession. But okay, so he's denied, and this is his breaking point, and he kind of loses it for a little bit, and then he gets back on track, and there's a montage of him continuing to be involved in the theater program, and then right after this montage ends, he gets the letter that he's free to go, but nothing changed between
that we could see.
yeah, between the hearing and him actually getting released to help us understand why he's now getting
Yeah.
released. And I was like, okay, well, that was rushed too.
Yeah.
That was incomplete as well. And the reason that Shawshank is so satisfying is because you see Andy's journey through the prison system, and he is able to prove that he's innocent, and he has a witness that can help prove that he's innocent, but then they kill the witness because of corruption in the prison system, and Andy realizes he's gotten no way out, so you see him break out, and he breaks out and he gets away, and then Red gets released on parole. It all like feels natural, and it feels not rushed, and you understand exactly how every character ended up where they ended up. And in this one, like it's got some really really beautiful moments, but some of the things that really should not have been rushed plot point wise felt rushed to
That's
me.
fair.
That being said, though, I loved the scene where he's out and driving in the car,
Yeah.
and
The windows down.
they're playing the original song that they wrote for this movie. I loved that part. I thought that was really good.
Is Shawshank the only prison movie that you can think of? Is that why you keep referencing it?
Brawl in Cell Block
Oh,
99.
okay.
There's two. There's other ones though, right? Look up prison movies. Hope you like prison food and penis.
What?
Let's name that movie, guys, in the comments. You should know that one actually. You love this movie.
What movie?
That's from the other guys.
I feel like prison food. Escape from Alcatraz.
Oh, I've seen Cool Hand Luke. I've seen that one. Actually,
Prisoners? Is that a prison
no,
movie?
that's not a prison movie.
Wait, The Longest Yard is not a prison movie. That doesn't make any sense. The Adam Sandler movie?
Aren't they like a prison football team or something?
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess it's been a really long time.
Oh, there's Brawl in Cell Block 99. I guess I haven't seen very many of these. Holes. Yeah.
Oh wait, what's that?
Holes.
That doesn't.
No. Yes.
That's a correct. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's.
I've seen. I mean, there's lots of shows that have extended prison scenes. Maybe that's why it feels like. Maybe that's why I feel like I've seen so many. Because there's a big chunk of Mr. N Between where he's in prison. There's a big chunk of Gamora where one of the main characters is in prison. You know, Daredevil has a long extended couple of episodes where a character is in prison. But yeah, I mean, this is a good prison movie. I don't think it's an all-time one for the reasons that we just went through. It just felt, and it was really close. Like I think that if they had changed, if they'd thrown in one more scene maybe and explained how exactly he got out, I would have liked it so much more. Really, just that one change would have made me probably bump this up to a 9 and call it an all-time prison movie.
Because you've only seen 2.
Right. No.
Now 3.
No. Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Yeah.
Cool Hand Luke.
Okay, 4. Now it's 4.
Shawshank. And
this.
Sing Sing.
Yeah, now it's
4. It could have made it into the top 2, Micah.
Okay.
Maybe it already is. Let me think about that. I like it more than Cool Hand Luke, and I like it more than Brawl in Cell Block 99. It's already in the top 2. There you go. Maybe it is an all-time. I have nothing else left to say. Do you have anything?
Yeah, okay. So I read The Odyssey recently by Homer, right? That's who it's by?
Right.
And it was really interesting. The audiobook that I was listening to had this pretty long intro talking about the potential history of this book. I didn't listen to the entire intro because it was like an hour and a half long, I think, but talking about the different possibilities of who wrote this and if potentially this was a compilation of a bunch of different myths, and it was just, I would look into the history of it. It was really interesting. But basically, if you don't know what the story of the Odyssey is, it's the Trojan War happened, and all of these people from,
Different parts of modern day Greece.
yeah, go to fight this war. And Odysseus, I'm blanking on where he's from.
He's from Ithaca.
Ithaca. And he goes and fights in the war, and Odysseus is known as like this
He's one of the generals.
amazing fighter, and he's really crafty and just really smart, and he has the blessing of Athena, and everybody knows this pretty much
because he's wise.
Yeah. And
I think Odysseus is the one that
came up with the Trojan horse.
Oh, did they say that in this? No, I think he's the one that came up with. There was some contest that sort of begins the story of the Trojan War and the Iliad. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but there's like some like trick basically that the gods they put someone into kind of an impossible situation. The gods do, and Odysseus is the one that figures out a way out of it to the best possible outcome, so that there's not an immediate war that's happening after that meeting. So like, he's always been a smart cookie.
Yeah, and people will refer to him as he's almost a god. He's godlike because he's very handsome. He's really good at fighting.
Yeah,
but he's also really smart. It's like his main attribute, honestly, is that he's super smart and crafty. And
did you ever see the movie Troy with Brad Pitt?
I don't think so.
And he plays Achilles, and it's about the Iliad. Can you guess who plays Odysseus?
Is it George Clooney?
No. That would have been good, though.
Yeah, I just like their dynamic.
Yeah. Sean Bean Boromir.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Doesn't that feel right?
Yeah.
Ned Stark.
So Odysseus travels from Ithaca to Troy. They fight. The way that they say it in the book is they fought for 9 years, and in the 10th year they won. So then everybody starts traveling back home, and the story, the Odyssey, is about Odysseus's travel back home, and it takes him 10 years to get home.
Yeah.
From this fight, and 9 of those years he's trapped on this island with Calypso, who's a goddess who says, I'll take care of you. Just be my husband. Just stay here. You'll live forever. We'll live a happy life and all of this. And so for 9 years, he spends every night with her. And during the day, he sits on the beach and he cries and he cries and he cries because he's sad that he can't go home to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he has the blessing of Athena. And so throughout this book, Athena is helping him out. And so Athena goes and talks to Zeus and says, help him get home. This is enough. And so Zeus sends Hermes and says, Calypso, you need to, send this boy home. So she helps him out. And he has this huge long journey with all these obstacles, and he keeps telling people along the way what his story is, and that's how you find out. And while this is happening, Odysseus trying to get home. Back at home in Ithaca, his wife, Penelope, has, in the last 5 years, so the war ended, and after 5 years of the war being over, people started coming to her house and trying to court her. They're called the suitors. And it sounds like it's like 30 to 50 dudes that are hanging out in her house, eating all of her food, killing all of their animals to have these nightly feasts because they want to marry her. And at this point, Penelope and Odysseus have a 20-year-old son, and he's basically...
He just plays video games in the basement.
Yeah, he's basically grown up with these guys here, and this is all he knows, and he feels he's not strong enough to kick them out because there's 30 or 50 dudes, and they're stealing all of their wealth.
And his muscles have atrophied because he spends all of his time in the basement drinking Mountain Dew Code Red and playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Or Fortnite. What's worse?
Fortnite.
Okay, he plays Fortnite.
So I don't want to spoil it. I think that this book is an easy read for sure. And the story is so fun. And all the different things. And, like I said, Odysseus is a crafty dude. And he's not perfect. He definitely makes some mistakes. There's this one part where they land on this island. And him and his crew get trapped by this Cyclops. And as they're trying to figure out how to get out,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
comes up with this plan, and he tells the Cyclops his name is Nobody. And so, long story short, he blinds the Cyclops and they end up getting away. And when the other Cyclops on the island ask, you know, brother, what happened? The Cyclops is like, nobody attacked me. And so all the other Cyclops think, oh, he's crazy. Like, he's had too much to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Odysseus came up with this amazing plan, and then once he gets out of range and he's on the boat,
He tells him his name.
he tells him his name. And he goes, it was me. It
And
was Odysseus.
and for those of you that know your Greek history or your mythology history, you know that the Cyclops is the son of
Poseidon.
Poseidon. And what is Poseidon the god of?
Water.
And what is Odysseus sailing on?
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a big, and like his crew was like, dude, why did you do that? And he's like, had to be done.
Dipshit, the snake dog.
Yeah. So there's a lot of other stories in this book that they were great. And the ending is amazing.
Well, and he was shaboinking Calypso
For 9 years.
Unfaithfully.
I know. That is a bit of a double standard.
But wasn't he like bewitched by Calypso? I thought he was.
It sounds like he basically felt like he had no choice.
Okay. He was coerced.
Yeah. So I am going to rate this book a 10 out of 10.
Whoa.
I loved it. I'm going to rate this a 10 when your bro looks at you like this in the Trojan horse.
That's one of the funniest memes of all time.
Make sure to look this video up on YouTube or Spotify.
It's not a video, just a...
No, our
okay.
video.
Okay.
To see what picture I used for this. I know. But I loved this book. I read this when I was a kid and I wasn't sure if I was just dumb and really liked it, or so I gave it another try. I would 100% recommend this book. It was so fun. It's such an easy read.
It's the classic mythology book. More than the Iliad. You know, I think it's definitely more approachable.
I don't think I've read the Iliad.
I haven't either, but I've heard that it's kind of a slog.
Okay.
I will be reading it at some point once I find the right translation.
Yeah.
For me. Okay. My turn.
I thought you said you didn't have anything.
No, I do. I finished Wolves, which was I think a 2024 movie. Yeah. Came out last year. If you're anything like me, you saw the trailer for this and you thought to yourself, whoa, that looks really interesting. It looks really fun. And it's about two cleaners. When I say cleaner, I mean they take care of dead bodies, basically. Brad Pitt is one, George Clooney is another, and they both somehow end up assigned to the same job, and they're not really happy about it. So you get like the grumpy old men, you know, having to work together, sort of thing. And that's Wolves. That's what it's about. And is it good? Yeah. Let me rephrase that. Yeah.
There's definitely good aspects of it.
Yeah.
But is it the best movie?
No. It's got some. I wish that it was funnier than it actually is. Is my main gripe with it. I just wanted it to be funny, and it was. You know.
Yeah, because you have some of that Brad Pitt, George Clooney banter.
Right, but it's not really funny. Unfortunately, it's just funny in parts. The director, I'm just looking this guy up now. He directed Spider-Man: Homecoming and Spider-Man: Far From Home, and maybe Spider-Man: No Way Home also. Okay. Anyways, there are some clever moments, some clever, fun dialogue that these two share with each other. But I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit. I was really hoping for Ocean's 11 level of writing, and it's going to be a different, you know, obviously it's a different genre completely. Well, not totally. They're both crime, I guess, but different feels. But I go back to some of the exchanges that Brad Pitt and George Clooney have in Ocean's 11, and I just love those, and I know how great of chemistry they have. Even Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, they've got just some excellent exchanges with each other. And
that duo.
Yeah.
Amazing. Another duo that I think is amazing is Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
Yeah.
What's another duo you think? Ryan Reynolds and himself.
Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Did you hear what I said?
Huh?
Ryan Reynolds and himself.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I don't even think that's funny.
Who else is a great duo? Abbott and Costello, Simon and Garfunkel,
No, I'm talking about actors.
A Bridge, and Troubled Water. This is fun. Let's look it up. Let's see. Who do we got? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Acting duos. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
Oh, yeah.
Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks.
Did you see Drew Barrymore?
Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler, whatever.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello, Owen Wilson.
I know. Why are and Bradley Cooper
By himself.
and Nick Frost? Why is Nick Frost not with?
Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. That's a
Yeah.
great one. Yeah, that's a great one. Quentin Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson doesn't count. That's an actor and director duo. Is there someone that Samuel L. Jackson is always with? Helena Bonham Carter and Donnie Depp. Johnny Depp.
Wait, this one says Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, but it's showing a picture of Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
What is going on here? I think we named the best ones already. But do you remember that scene in Ocean's 11 where they're at a bar, and this is after they've been recruiting a little bit. They've recruited 8 people, and Brad Pitt is just like slumped over, staring ahead.
Yeah.
Just non-responsive. And then George Clooney is like, "I think we got a good crew. What do you think?
You think we need?
You think we need one more?
But we don't.
You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more." And Brad Pitt is just the whole time just
doesn't say a single thing. Yeah, that was amazing.
Awesome. And then like in later movies, I don't remember if this is 13 or 12. They're having a conversation, I think, about a woman, and Brad Pitt's like, "Do you think?" George Clooney's like, "Yes." "But do you think?" "Of course." "But wouldn't that mean?" "Yep." And they just I don't know, like there's something so funny about the way that those are written. They know each other so well, and of course that's not gonna happen exactly like that in this movie because they're strangers, but
I think
a level of writing like that is what I was hoping for. Yeah.
Because they imagine like if it was someone else playing this duo, it wouldn't have been as good.
No.
Because they have great chemistry.
Yeah.
And the writing of this was just okay.
Yeah.
In certain parts. I didn't watch the whole movie.
And they elevate it to being good, I think. And it could have been great,
Yeah.
Also, if you're wondering why is it called Wolves, I think it has something to do I think it has something to do with if you've ever seen Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta are in the car with their informant guy, and John Travolta accidentally shoots him in the head while they're in the car, and they have to call in a cleaner to help them figure out this situation. And the cleaner that they get, played by Harvey Keitel. Why can't I talk right now? Harvey Keitel.
Oh.
Harvey Keitel.
Well, I understand why you made that. Keitel?
Yeah.
What kind of name is that?
Harvey Keitel comes, and his character's name is Winston Wolfe in Pulp Fiction. So I think that's where they're getting wolves. Yeah, they're referencing it, homaging, if you will.
Okay.
But yeah, this movie isn't super violent. There's one big shootout at the end that is a little violent. Did you see it? The full thing?
That's not that violent.
No, it's before that. Like they're waiting in the car and there's a big shootout that's going on in a warehouse, and then one guy stumbles out and like falls onto the snow dead, and then another guy comes out and he's been shot in the neck and it's kind of like gushing.
Yeah, I did see that.
Squirting. And that's the gross part, really. Like that's the only part that I was like, okay, yeah, that's rated R violence right there.
Yeah.
But apart from that, not really much rated R violence in this, and it's just language. So it's decently clean, for way cleaner than you would think.
Yeah.
For what this movie's subject matter is. But at the end of the day, it's good, not great. I would give it a 6.5. 6.5. You think we would need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more. Is out of 10.
Hopefully. Okay, you feel good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right. Well, we'll watch something. Rest assured.
I've been rewatching the first season of 1923, so I'll probably have that done by the next episode. Because I don't think I ever talked about that on here.
Okay.
Okay, there's a few options of what we might watch. If you've made it this far and have an opinion, let us know. We might watch Gladiator 2. We might watch Paddington in Peru.
Right.
I'll probably watch The Return.
Really, that
Is it
that one's
violent?
violent
Okay, then maybe not.
because that's just him. That's just the part where he slaughters all the suitors.
Oh, it's just the ending?
Yeah.
That's lame. Okay, I might not watch it then.
It's not the whole Odyssey.
That's lame.
Yeah.
I might not watch it then. A movie that I really want us to watch, but I don't think we'll watch it this next week is Temple Grandin.
I don't know what that
I
is.
know. So, options. If you have a suggestion, leave it in the comments. All right, have a great week, everybody. Bye.